What's going on, guys? Brandon Lewis here. Most of you have noticed that in the news, especially if you keep up with state news, that there is a ton of ballyhoo, rhetoric, reporting on both sides about the upcoming school choice bill. So I thought I would do something that I've not seen anyone else do, and that's talk about the mathematics behind the bill. So I'm going to break down some numbers. You can't find this, in my opinion, in any news reporting. It's all emotional. It's all empty. It's in many cases misleading. So we're going to break down some of the math. So here's a few things that we need to talk about. First off, there are 1 million, 106,752 students. My penmanship is terrible. In Tennessee, okay? We are going to give 20,000 kids a scholarship. So what does that mean? That means if you take 100,6752 and you divide it by 20,000, oh, sorry, got to do this again. 1006, is that right? I think 752 divided by 20,000. What? Sorry, doing it backwards. 20,000 divided by 1006,752 equals 1.98%. Okay? We're just going to, it's almost 2%. So we're just going to call it 2% of students. That's how many people are getting this school choice. Okay? 2%. It is not universal. They keep calling it universal. It is not universal. I don't know why they keep doing that. I think it's misleading. I think it hurts a politician's credibility when they call something universal when in fact it's very limited. Now, they roll out 5,000 new scholarships a year. Okay? That's how this is going to work. 5,000 scholarships a year. If we assume no population growth whatsoever and we take 1006,752 and we subtract 20,000 from it, 20,000, we're going to end up with 986,000. Okay, now these numbers may be a little bit outdated. They probably are. Now we're going to divide that by 5,000. We get 197 years. So 2% of students get it, and it's 197 years for your kids to get it. And my kids. So it's not universal. It ain't happening anytime soon. So that's something that it just drives me crazy that you don't see anybody in the media talking about. Let me scoot this back a little bit. Give me some room. Adjust this. We're just doing this on the fly, guys. I'm not a professional, right? As the left-leaning media will tell you, and many rhinos. So these are two things I want to get out there. And for the authors of the bill, if you want to post down here, I'll bring you on the program, talk to you. You say, is this true or not? Now here's some other math. Right now it takes about, I'm going to put some of these numbers over here. It takes about $12,000 per year to educate a Tennessee student. So it's about $12,000 per year, and that's federal and everything all in. It may be a little bit more now. So let's go $12,000 per year. Okay. Now this voucher is going to cost $7,000. Now you look at that and you think, okay, we spend $12,000 a year. We're going to do a voucher for $7,000. We'll end up saving $5,000 in taxpayer money. Oh no. No. All this money right here, $12,000, still goes back to the school that they are not going to be in. So now the cost per student gets up to already $19,000. Okay? That's where we are, but we're not done yet. Here's the next thing that's going to happen. We are going to give a $2,000 raise to approximately, I got it in here, 64,105 teachers. Okay, whether they're good, whether they're bad, we're just going to give a blanket raise, right? Because it's to purchase loyalty, to quell dissent. Okay, what's that cost? Well, that's $128,210,000. That's what we're going to spend, okay? So the $7,000 times the $20,000 is $140 million, okay? Let's see, here we go, 128,210. Oh, I forgot to add the zeros. It's just government, right? So 128 million. And then if we take the 7,000 times the 20,000, we come up with 140,000. 140 million, sorry. I keep making it smaller than what it is. If you add all that up, it adds up to $268,210. Or 168,210,000. Okay? Now, if we take that and we go back over here, okay, we're going to get rid of this scholarship number for a minute, even though we still know it's 7,000. If we take that number, $268 million, and if we divide that number, here we go, 268, 210, oh gosh, so many zeros you can't even keep up with it hardly. Can I even fit that in mine? Here we go, 268, 210, 123. Gosh, I don't think it's going to fit. And we divide, yes, barely. Divided by 20,000. Oh gosh, that's 13,000. That's 13,000. It's I had to move the one. It won't even fit on here. This is how much we're spending. It won't even fit on the calculator. 134, comma. Oh, it's 134 is 13410 50. This is how much money it's going to cost. Is $13,410 per scholarship. Does that make sense? We're giving a $2,000 raise to 64,000 people. That's going to cost 128,000. The scholarship, or 128 million. Scholarships are going to cost 140 million, and it's 268 million in all divided by 20,000. And so, but you got to remember, this $12,000 is still going to the government schools. So if you add up this plus the 12000, uh-oh, I messed it up. 13410 plus 12,000 equals $25,410. This is the number, okay? So when you talk to these folks advocating for this, ask them what it's going to cost us per scholarship recipient to pass this. You know what it's going to cost Tennessee taxpayers? $25,410 per scholarship. So we're going to spend $25,000 to give away a $7,000 scholarship. So people, I am pro school choice. I want my money back. It makes me angry that I have paid in my taxes as a business owner, property owner, both commercially and residentially for 20 years, and I could not send my kid to the schools where I previously went. I moved into a pretty good school zip code. I still don't want to send them. I just want my money back. And so I don't think this is the way, this is responsible. I think it's completely irresponsible. Can we not just give the kids the $7,000 scholarship without a bunch of strings and say, go forth and prosper? Now, here's the other issue. If you look at the bill, it's got all these strings attached for testing, and then the Department of Education has to define all these rules, and all these schools have to meet these requirements based upon the Department of Education, right? Well, the problem I have is that the Department of Education are presently managing the government schools, right? So we're now going to trust the organization that has done such a terrible job with government schools that we now have to have the vouchers to spend $25,000 per kid to jettison out of them failing schools. And now what are we going to do? We're going to put the same DAs in charge of the vouchers that we put in charge of the government schools that we're having to spend all this money to because we're going to leave it. Ridiculous. So here's an idea. It's very similar to what Trump proposed. It's what I would like to see, a tax credit or a tax rebate. Trump has talked about giving people that homeschool their kids a $10,000 tax deduction. Okay? Maybe it's a tax rebate. I don't remember. I hope it's a rebate. But it's something. It's like, okay, you're not using the broken government schools. Let me give you some money or give you back some tax money to help. I think that's a great idea, but I don't think what is a great idea is to spend $25,000 to give a $7,000 scholarship away. I think that's idiotic. And the issue is like, well, we got to bribe the teachers with $2,000. Why? Are they not public servants of the taxpayer? Why don't you bribe the taxpayer? Why is it all this talk is all about the government employees, but it's not about the taxpayers? Government school teachers work at the pleasure of the taxpayer. I get so sick and tired of watching Republican leadership kick the taxpayer over and over again and then pat the government bureaucracy on its back. It makes no sense. So this is the math, okay? Just to recap, it's going to cost $25,410 to give away a $7,000 scholarship. All the failing schools that these kids are being taken out of are still going to get the same funding as if the kids weren't there. And in order to do this, to allow them to keep the damned money, we got to bribe them extra. So not only do they get to keep your taxpayer money, we got to bribe them on top of it. That sounds like something you do in a banana republic. Degrees the palms of custom officials or something. I don't get this. What we should be able to do, in my opinion, is submit our property taxes and our sales taxes and whatever other taxes you pay as a Tennessee taxpayer. Just gather your receipts together, fill out a simple one-page form, send it up to the Capitol and say, listen, I paid $10,000 in taxes. I homeschool my kids. Apparently, looking at the math, half that money goes to government schools. I'm not using the government schools. I'd like my $5,000 back. Is it going to move heaven and earth for you? Is it going to allow you to even educate your kids? No, but it does two things. One, it makes it clean and simple and clear. Number two, it's not an entitlement. It's just giving people their money back. And number three, and I like this a lot, it stops the possibility of the same government that has corrupted government education, and it has done a terrible job. We wouldn't have these voucher conversations if that wasn't the case. We all agree government education sucks. That's the reason we're doing this. But at the same time, I don't understand the logic of let's have the government monitor if these people are doing a good job or not, because the government is presently monitoring the government schools that we're going to take them out of. If the monitoring of the government fixed the schools, wouldn't they be fixed already? This is not leadership. I don't know what this is, but it is not leadership. I want to see some kind of school choice bill I can get behind. And I guess for the 20,000 students that get this, it's a godsend, right? Good for them. But should we give them that scholarship this way? I don't think so. Tell me what you think in the comments section. Please do share this video because enough people do not understand the math. You're not going to get this out of the mainstream media. You're not going to get this out of Republican leadership. Somebody needs to do the math. I know that people that went to Tennessee government schools score really low on math. Only a third of them are at proficiency or grade level. But this is just division and multiplication, right? We should all be able to look at this and have adult conversations about it. Brandon Lewis here with the Tennessee Conservative News, doing the cold, hard math on school vouchers. Tell me what you think. Share this. Talk to you next time, guys. Be good.